Hello, I'm /MVC, and I'm back with another Cataclysm tutorial. Did you know that you can tow another vehicle in Cataclysm, Dark Days Ahead, Bright Nights, and The Last Generation? Here I have I believe it even calls itself a tow truck. This is an underlift tow truck. Now, something to note about the underlift tow truck is that at the back of the truck we have a thing. Actually, the best way to see that thing is to do it like this. This is the only way I know how to get the whole text over here. Whoops. Let's try this again. Right there's the boom crane. Oh, I see. Crane. Okay, so it has an internal boom crane on it. A rigid steel boom crane. If it is in your line of sight and within 2 tiles of another vehicle, you will automatically use it when you want to jack up the other vehicle to change its wheels. To use it to lift a heavy component like an engine that you are installing or removing, the crane must have line of sight to where it is going, and it must be within 4 tiles of it. Also provides suspension for butchering quality. So in other words, what this is trying to tell you is that you would think, because this is a tow truck and it has this little hooky-doo on the back called an internal boom crane, the boom crane is not for towing vehicles. So I tested this by going up to it and trying to examine that tile, and there's nothing there except examine vehicle and remember vehicle position. Now, a tow truck has a compartment in the side which has a chance to spawn. I think it's a chance to spawn. I don't think it's guaranteed, but it will spawn this heavy-duty tow cable, which is an extremely heavy-duty 30-foot or 9-meter tow cable made from thick steel wire coated in plastic. If attached to a vehicle, it could be used to pull another vehicle of any weight. Of any weight, it says. Interesting. So I have one of these in my inventory. I have spawned in a 4x4 car over here so we can test how this works. What you're going to want to do is tap the A key, and that will allow you to apply the heavy-duty tow cable for attach/manage connections. So, oh, is it still attached to respool? Okay, that's where I was testing some things. That's interesting. We'll get to that. So I want to attach the tow cable to the 2 vehicles. One is the towing vehicle, and the other one is the towed vehicle. So this is the towing vehicle, and I'll just tap in that direction. Now you'll notice that once I've attached it, you don't see any visual evidence of that thing. But I believe we can check our inventory, and it will say that we have walked out 4 of the 8 tiles of cable that we have available. Okay, now if I check my inventory, it says that we only have, oh, I see. We actually have 1 of 8 cable left. That's how that's being read. So anyway, you can be about this far between the 2 vehicles to attach the cable. So I'm going to hit apply again and click my heavy-duty coat. And now we can attach it, the loose end, to the towed vehicle. Or we could just start over again by detach and respooling. Let's attach the loose end to the towed vehicle, like so. It says you connect the underlift tow truck and the 4x4 car with the heavy-duty tow cable. I notice that the other car does not have to be running. Okay, here we go. I'm going to accelerate up to about 8 miles per hour and start turning here. And as you can see, the other vehicle follows right on behind. Now this is 8 miles an hour. I want to show you how it corners. You got to watch out because you're basically so long that if you take a corner too sharp, the other corner or the other vehicle is going to go off the road by a bit. And then eventually it drifts back into line with the towing vehicle. I'm going to accelerate a bit here. Okay, well, I took a relatively sharp corner there, but the other car seemed to handle it pretty well, even at 12 miles per hour. Not too shabby. So on a unblocked 2-lane highway, this is not terribly difficult. And I'd say it works pretty good. Got to be somewhat mindful. But 12 miles per hour is auto drive speeds. So speaking of that, I haven't tried this yet, and I'm very curious. Will auto drive work? So let's see if we can auto drive back to here. Alright, auto drive is working. Look at that. Yes, that answers that question, I think. I wonder if there's a more distant auto drive location we could test. Maybe we could try the sand pit down there. So one other question I'm going to have is, what if I were to use a smaller vehicle to tow a larger vehicle? We'll test that after this auto drive journey. Let's drive all the way to here. See how auto drive takes it. Okay, I would say that in all fairness, the towed vehicle is all over the road. However, okay, the tow truck smashed into something, right? Yes. Yeah, okay, no. It wasn't my towed vehicle which smashed into something. That was me not paying attention. And I feel like it's possible that the towed vehicle could almost clip into my vehicle. But it hasn't happened yet. So let's go back here and swap vehicles. We'll use a lighter vehicle as an experiment. Okay, the weight of the car destroys the copper wire. You hear smash and crunch. I think our towed vehicle may have hit rock that time. But anyway. Alright, let's just pull over here. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try towing the tow truck. As you can see, by the way, I came to a rather sudden stop, and the other car did not collide with me. I'm not going to say it won't happen, but I wasn't any too careful there. So let's stop driving. We need to be able to detach this cable, so I think it's going to help to know where the cable is. Let's hit E to examine. Yeah, so I'm looking at these tiles. Let's see if I can look at this tile. Right. So I connected it to this tile. Let's see if we can see it this way. Okay, using the X menu for Explore, we don't see the tow cable there. It's not on the Get menu, I doubt. Yeah, no. So you're going to have to remember where you attach that cable. Anyway, disconnect tow cables. You detach it. I think we have to detach it from here also. Disconnect items. Okay. If we apply this, okay, we don't have to spool it back in. Nice. So let's try... I was going to try pulling this hippie van. I expect it's going to be about the same. Let's try driving this car instead. Oh, whoa, whoa. Driving just a little funny there. And I want to try a diagonal takeoff here. Okay. I'm going to let go of the controls. Now, we should be able to attach the tow cable. We can attach it to the towed vehicle first if we want. We'll connect it to that corner. And then I'll connect it to this corner. No. Apply tow cable to towing vehicle right there. Okay, this might be a little tricky. There's some rocks in the way. Okay. So far, so good. Made a really sharp turn there. Oops, I didn't see the rock. Okay, all seems to be going pretty well here. So, all in all, I'm gonna say that attaching the tow cable to the corners of the vehicles has led to a situation where the towed vehicle is being dragged off to the side in such a way. Looks like our towed vehicle is now running over a creature. This gives me some ideas about possibly towing a vehicle through a zombie horde. That could be an interesting kill method. That's following along pretty nicely. Now, let's try auto drive. It doesn't look like the cable locations had a profound impact on the way that the towed vehicle performs. Now, I do believe that one vehicle clipped to the other. It's that mirror that's sticking out on the towed vehicle. So if the vehicle in tow was considerably wide, like this one is, that could cause you a problem. But anyway, all in all, I'd say the heavy-duty tow cable performs without too many problems at all. Okay, look, it's following directly behind me. Looks like the attachment point is really not a consideration. So you want to start a junkyard? You want to go out there and grab you a vehicle? Don't be deterred by the fact that you're driving a smaller vehicle and you're hauling a larger vehicle. It is possible, although your acceleration and top speeds may suffer and your handling may suffer. I'm not sure. But at least in those series of tests, I find it to be completely adequate for any kind of towing job that I might need. Hope that you have learned something from this tutorial. I'll be back in another tutorial at another time. In the meantime, take care.